Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us today. Thank you to Evan and Patrick and Ivan for hosting us, bringing the space community in New York together. Today I am representing Mars Ocean Analogs. My name is Maxine Hoover. What are Mars Ocean Analogs? So Mars Ocean Analogs is an astronaut training program at sea based on the success of Reed Stowe's longest sea voyage in history. So he founded Mars Ocean Analogs, and he holds the world record for sailing 1,152 days non-stop without resupply on a self-built 75-foot gas rig schooner. And this was recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records, and it was actually originally titled the Mars Ocean Odyssey, so even that voyage itself was inspired by a trip to Mars and testing the limits of human endurance. And so what we're doing here, we are taking space professionals, analog astronauts, and those who dare to explore and push their own boundaries as a human being at sea for 2 to 3 weeks at a time. We've done 8 voyages since the inception of the program. What our philosophy really is that seafarers of today provide a role model for spacefarers of tomorrow. Living at sea and going on a trip to space have some similarities in a sense that they test their endurance. You're living off of the land. You're in an isolated, confined environment. You're forced to work in a very close-knit team. You definitely can't escape. You have to let go of the comforts and relationships that you usually have on land. And so, yeah, we've taken out several different crews, mainly in the North Atlantic, the Caribbean. The open ocean and deep space are extremely similar for all of these reasons, and this is why we feel that people that have dreams to go to Mars or go to deep space should take training at sea first. And we've also gotten lots of press recognition for this program. We've been featured in the London Times, New York Times, The Space Show, Palm Beach Post, so we always make an effort to get publicity wherever we go. But mainly, we want to raise awareness that those who want to go to space can also have a earthbound training first. I have actually completed 2 Mars Ocean Analogs myself. The first one here was done, this was in and out of the North Atlantic Ocean. We sailed for 10 days from New York to the North Atlantic and back in the middle of November, so it was very cold. And next, this was a more recent one, we sailed for 20 days, 1,000 miles from Grand Cayman to SpaceX. So, and this one was just Reed and myself. So it was a 2-person crew, and it was a harrowing but also equally rewarding and amazing experience that I grew from exponentially. One special moment that I want to note that I experienced firsthand was there was actually a calm in the middle of the ocean while we were passing through the Yucatan Channel, and we were stalled for 2 days at a time. And one of the things that happens when you're out at sea like this is you really have to practice patience, because you never know how long it's really going to take to get to your destination. We're sailing and traveling like the early explorers from a long time ago. Just like how when we go to space now, we're the early explorers of space in a sense. So instead of getting stressed out about how long it's going to take to be stalled, I jumped into the ocean and just floated in the big blue expanse and enjoyed every second of it, embraced it completely. And I put these 2 together because I just wanted to compare the level of bravery and the level of resilience that it takes mentally to actually go out there and float where you don't really know what's out there. Just like myself and this astronaut here, we're floating in the big expanse and we're embracing the mystery of the world around us. And they did make it to SpaceX. They've made multiple trips to SpaceX, and we're currently communicating with SpaceX about our progress. And we're currently still looking for, partnerships and, sharing our voyages with the world, because we're currently the only organization that's doing this at sea. And right now, they're on a voyage as we speak. They're on the way to Palm Beach. Reed has a crew of 4 lovely professionals. Some are also affiliated with SpaceX, and some are also involved in the STEM community as well. And they are currently en route to Palm Beach and should probably be there within a week. So we're lining up our schedule of taking new crews. And if you'd like to learn more, you can follow us at marsoceananalogs.com, and we have an active social media presence on TikTok, Instagram, X, all of the above. So thank you so much.
Any questions? seen amazing skies over the ocean. Is that
Oh
true?
yeah. Yeah, you see the stars like nowhere else. It's
Oh,
incredible.
really?
Yeah. You really get a perspective of how much light pollution there really is once you actually leave it all behind. It's crazy.
Consider
Yeah.
taking the telescope.
Yeah, I know. That would have been really good.
All right. Any other questions? Oh,
Hello, and maybe I missed this, but the vessels that you're using, are you renting them, loaning them, partnering with?
So the
folks?
vessel we're currently using is actually the original vessel that sailed the longest sea voyage in history. So it's a 50-year-old self-built 75-foot Gafford schooner. And our larger plan is to actually expand this beyond just the schooner that we're using, but be able to rent out catamarans and different boats in all different places around the world and be able to host these. That's the larger plan. But right now we're just using the original boat that did the longest voyage, which is a very, sturdy boat. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's nice to see one of my friend Ilan going up there.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. Yeah, she was on the way. She's awesome.
My question is like, what are the most amazing scientific experiments that you've conducted on board, and what have been the outcome? How it has been helped you, like outside the mission? Thank you.
Oh yeah. So outside the mission, all the crew members have reported just definitely a higher level of confidence just on land. They just feel so much more capable and so much more like, you do something that a lot of people haven't done. So just having that confidence is really wonderful. But as far as experiments go, we have done some experiments with different organizations where we would take our vitals and we would, each crew member would draw like a body map of how they were doing that day. They would take their blood pressure, they would take, different measurements, and they would also basically document how they were doing that day and then compare it over time. Certain crews would do really well throughout the whole thing. Elon did great. But then there were also some crew members who completely broke down and just weren't able to do anything because they either got sick the whole time, they just weren't very physically fit. So it really is a test of like, are you capable of the physical and psychological challenges of space travel? Yeah.
have you figured out sort of the puzzle of matching personalities to people that make them all work?
You know what? It's difficult because somebody's self-perception is different than reality sometimes. So some people, we've had all sorts of cases. We've had cases of some crew who do really well in a lot of different areas in their life, and they feel very confident that they can do it. But then once they get on the boat, they break down. So it's really hard to say. I think taking the first step and going on, having that self-confidence and self-perception is the first step, but then to actually do it is a whole other thing. And in a way, you're really kind of taking a step into the unknown. You really don't know how your body's going to react and how you react to being so isolated in the ocean. So it's really hard to tell because ultimately when people apply, we're going by their resume and then also how they perceive their own resilience. So it's always an experiment every time.
Probably experiment for them too.
Right, exactly.
Okay, any other question? Oh.
Something that we say when we build something to deploy to the station is you have to make it astronaut proof. And this isn't because they're dummies. I mean, they're all smart. They have PhDs. They're really intelligent folks. But is that an issue that you guys find that you run into with people that probably have little to no sailing experience going on this thing for the first time? And, oh man, I'm super cut out for it. I have the basic intellect. I can do it. What does that look like on the preparation side for you guys?
On the preparation side, we just go for it, and then you see, we have had certain cases where, we've had very educated, very capable people, and the physicality of it is just too much. The motion is too much for them because they've never been in a situation like that before, and it's just shocking their system. But then what happens is, either they, take a liking to the program, even if they're not completely, even if they can't fully participate at sea, they may end up becoming very helpful afterwards on the land. So we always try to, see the capabilities of everybody that comes on for how they're willing to, contribute even afterwards.
Where's Ocean Analogs? Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a